Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Bridging the Future. We're excited to have you here, and anyone that might be viewing from home, we're streaming this live. So hello out there. We're so happy you joined us. We're happy to have you all here to come together to support and celebrate the work being done to connect education with real-world opportunities. A special thank you to the Olentangy District Leadership Team, the Olentangy Board of Education, and our state and local officials who are here in attendance, State Representative Brian Lawrence and Orange Township Trustee Erica Faust. We also want to recognize our business partners. Your collaboration with Olentangy Schools is essential as we build meaningful career pathways for our students through programs like Olentangy BridgED. Together, we're helping students explore future careers, develop real-world skills, and connect their learning to life beyond the classroom. It is now my honor to introduce our first speaker, Lieutenant Governor Jim Tressel. I had the opportunity to hear him speak at Columbus State earlier this year, where he strongly emphasized the importance of career pathway awareness, a message that aligns directly with our mission here at Olentangy. Please join me in welcoming Lieutenant Governor Jim Tressel.
Thanks so much, Molly. And I'm not tall enough to stand behind this. You'll just see the top of my head, and that won't look good. But I don't want our people that are recording here to be mad, though. Can't have the media mad at you. So, my nephew Chris Tressel's a employee of your wonderful district, and he called me a couple months ago, and he said, "Hey, Uncle Jim, I know how you believe in our country and how you believe in our state and how you believe in education and workforce and people reaching their potential and all that. And I know you believe in the freedom of speech and all of those good things that we believe in." And he said, "So here's what you're going to do. You're going to give a speech for free at my school district." And so you do whatever your nephew tells you to do. And he said, "But you know, the topic is what you're so passionate about, and that's education as it leads to the workforce." And I said, "Hey, we're all in. This district is so important to our state and certainly our region here in Central Ohio. And I don't know if we're the third or fourth largest district in the state. Incredible. And so I'm excited to be with you here today. You'll get the most information as you go out and visit with all the folks out there. But we just wanted to reinforce how important what you're doing this evening is and how important just getting those thoughts rolling in your mind are. And we hear every day from Governor DeWine, and I was just telling a couple of the folks down here, about 230 days ago, I was happily retired. And then Governor DeWine called and he said, "Hey, I've got an idea. I'd like to come and talk to you about it." And I said, "Well, certainly anything, Mr. Governor." He was always great to us when I was president at Youngstown State and knew him throughout his great public service. "Now, anything I can do for you, you let me know." And he said, "Well, I'm going to come up and pitch an idea to you." And he came up and he said, "Hey, Lieutenant Governor Husted just named as a U.S. Senator, and we need someone to step up and fill that last 18 months of our administration, and we'd like you to consider that." And I said, "Well, Mr. Governor, I don't even know what a lieutenant governor does." And he said, "Whatever I tell you to do." I said, "Well, I'm used to that at home. So I think I can do that. But it's been such an honor to serve alongside Governor DeWine. When you go to a new world, you realize that you didn't know the difficulty of what someone else's job was. And just watching our administration, watching our General Assembly, we have Rep. Lorenz around here somewhere, just watching all they pour into the many, many needs of the 12 million people in our state. It's incredible. But the one that he allowed me to get most involved with thus far has been education and workforce. But then he said, and oh, by the way, I've been thinking about for the last 6 years that we really need to do a little bit more discussion in terms of the fitness level of our youth. And I'd really like you to start something from that standpoint. And so we started working on this, I don't know, 5 months ago, and said, we got together with some high school physical education teachers, some principals, some superintendents, and said, what should we do to challenge our youth from a fitness standpoint? And so we came up with the idea, and we've created a fitness challenge, and it's been so much fun. In fact, Rep. Lorenz volunteered to help us bring that along as we take it past this pilot level. But I'm here to tell you, we've got 183,000 students, grades 4 through 8, involved in our fitness challenge. And what we've seen happen in those schools that opted in has just been incredible, watching how they've taken fitness thoughts and nutrition thoughts and sleep habit thoughts and so forth back home. And so stay tuned. The next time we come, Molly, we're going to have like a full-blown community discussion about health and fitness. But tonight, we want to talk about the education and workforce part. And Governor DeWine says to us almost every meeting that you have to keep the big things the big things. And in his eyes, the big things are, number one, he wants every Ohioan to be safe. You have to feel safe to be able to progress. Number two, he says he wants every Ohioan to be healthy. Hence the fitness challenge and many other initiatives we have in the state. And third, as it relates to our discussion this evening, is he wants every Ohioan to reach their God-given potential. And he wants us to make sure that we have the opportunities from an educational standpoint, pre-K through PhD, and that we want to make sure that we give as many of our business and industry and nonprofits and so forth the opportunity to let our Ohioans know what's available. Because right now, this might be a golden moment in Ohio. In life, the pendulum swings back and forth. Ohio is 222 years old. I've been here for over a third of the birthdays. And the pendulum has swung back and forth. That's just the way life goes. But right now, based upon a lot of the reasons why we've had great prosperity in Ohio over our history, because our location is tremendous. We're so close to most of the population of the country. We're a great location. We have this giant lake up there and fresh water. We have this wonderful Ohio River. We have much energy under our feet. And we have extraordinary people that value family, that value education, that value work ethic, that are innovative. If you think of our state, we were really the beginning of the steel industry and the rubber industry and the glass industry and aviation. There have been so many things that Ohio has been an historic leader. And all of those things are still in place, but it just so happens that in the last 10 years, and much thanks to folks like Jobs Ohio and One Columbus and all of our Jobs Ohio partners is about 63 companies have moved from either the East Coast or the West Coast to Ohio, or they've decided to expand here. And so this really is a golden moment in our state's history. And it's a great opportunity to make sure that the governor's third goal of every Ohioan reaching their God-given potential can occur. And so as we've been spending a lot of time with the Department of Education and Workforce, with Jobs Ohio, with a lot of our entities, we've been thinking about, well, what's going to be the key to making sure each individual can reach their potential? And one of the things we talk about often is that, yes, we have to keep up with new technology and new ideas and innovative things and so forth, but we also can't lose sight of those basic, universal, personal skills that we've got to make sure that we're developing. Things like work ethic, things like curiosity, things like being able to work together as a team, things like selflessness, along with obviously doing a great job in our educational offerings. Well, we're fortunate right now that we have 150 workforce transformation initiatives happening in our state. The General Assembly, the DeWine administration have done a great job of creating pathways in many different directions for all of the potential interests of our youth, of our folks that are maybe looking to upskill, change what it is they're doing. They've spent an inordinate amount of money and energy making sure that we have the ability to teach folks how to take those pathways, get them on their path toward their potential. And one thing we've noticed as we've traveled around the state, and we've visited nearly every four-year school, two-year school, many of the K through 12 schools, all of the regions of Jobs Ohio like One Columbus and so many of the nonprofits and the workforce initiatives, is we're not sure we've done as good a job of making people aware of all the opportunity we have. And that's what's so good about what you're doing today. This is incredible. And we're also not sure we've done as good a job as we need to with making sure everyone understands all the pathways of assistance to get there. Once I recognize what's the opportunity, now what does it take? How can I get some help getting there? Who can help me realize my dreams? And so that's what we've been out there trying to make sure that we do out in the communities, raising awareness, making sure that everyone is aware of all the opportunities that we have, and then getting out there and having our young people experience it. It's been fun going to the school districts, much like yours, and seeing the comprehensive nature of what you have to offer for your students. There are so many different things that are available. And exposing students to what's out there, having them feel it, touch it, see it. We were just this morning down in Cincinnati at Butler Tech, which is a huge school down there that is really focusing in on advanced manufacturing and a lot of various things. And it's fun to see how they're partnering with our local two-year schools, four-year schools, much like you do here from your school district. And so raising that awareness, making sure that everyone understands the pathways, and also not losing sight of those basic universal skills that we need to be successful. So I applaud what's happening here. What you're doing is exactly what we need. We need to take advantage of this moment in Ohio and do extraordinary things. have to congratulate the school board and the school system, all the administrators. I saw one of our local athletic directors on my way in, Darren Meeker, who worked with us for years at Ohio State. All of the things you have to offer, whether they're athletics or the marching band or the theater, all these things that can help us build those universal skills, those traits that every single one of our people need. That's what needs to happen. You're making it happen here. You're working together. Business and industry is reaching out and working very hard to give us earn while you learn opportunities, internship type things. There is so much out there, and so I applaud you for getting ready to go out and see what's offered. We appreciate that. We need this school district to be a great leader. Not every school district has an evening like this. We need a school district like this to take the lead so that we can show everyone this is the time Ohio is going to take off. And it's an honor to be a part of this. I appreciate this opportunity. And with that, I probably went over, Molly, my 10 minutes, but I couldn't be more proud of this group. Please continue to be a leader. We need you to make a difference. God bless all of you, and go Bucks.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. You can go over as long as you want, just as long as I don't have to do any part of the fitness challenge up here on the stage. Next time, though, next time. I heard you invite us to collaborate for another opportunity, so I think I heard that right. So I don't forget these things. So thank you so much. Now I'm honored to introduce our next speaker, Deb Scheer, who is the Senior Vice President of Global Trade and Investment at One Columbus that the Lieutenant Governor mentioned previously. One Columbus leads a regional growth strategy focused on making the Columbus region the most prosperous in the nation. The work is critical to creating opportunities not just for businesses, but for students and for future professionals across our region. Please join me in welcoming Deb Scheer from One Columbus.
Well, good evening, and thank you for having me here to join you. As Molly indicated, my name's Deborah Scheer. I'm the Senior Vice President of Global Trade and Investment for One Columbus, and I'm really excited to be with you here this evening to share some of the perspectives that One Columbus has. For those of you who are not familiar with One Columbus, we are a regional economic development organization, and our work here focuses on locating and growing companies who are already located here and bringing in new ones. Together with our partners around the state, with Jobs Ohio, with our other Jobs Ohio network partners, we focus on high-paying sectors. We also partner many times with our educational institutions, school districts, and higher education around the state to make sure that everyone is aware of what those opportunities are looking like in the future. Okay, let's level set. Many of you do know some statistics about the Columbus region, but let me share a little bit more. The Columbus region is the fastest growing region in the Midwest when it comes to population growth and GDP growth. The region currently sits at about 2.3 million in population, and we are forecasted to grow to 3.1 million in population by 2050. In the past decade, the Columbus region has been 90% of Ohio's growth. And we anticipate that growth, that the Columbus region will continue to be the growth engine of Ohio now and into the future. When you look at where the growth is happening, in fact, 6 of the top 7 fastest growing counties are located here within the Columbus region. Our economy is very strong. We have a number of key industries that we are focused on in this region, but our region is also very diverse when it comes to the various sectors that are represented here. Some are new, and some will help us grow into the future, those like life sciences, AI, defense tech, and others are more incumbent industries, sectors like IT, finance, and insurance. But those industries are very important, but they're also experiencing major changes as they go into the future. No industry within our region holds more than 16% of employment. Let me talk a little bit about manufacturing. We have, over the last 24 to 36 months, have really seen a significant increase in activity in this region when it comes to the interest of manufacturing. 55% of our project pipeline, when I say project pipeline, what I mean by that is a company who has a defined business plan on what their growth plans are. So 55% of those projects that are interested in the Columbus region are in the manufacturing area. 36% of those are internationally owned companies. And they're really looking all over the region, including Delaware County and the surrounding areas. You know, traditionally, when people think about manufacturing, they don't necessarily think about the Columbus region. But we already have a strong base of manufacturing that's located here. This may be a little bit hard to see, but if you look up at the screen, many of the household goods items that you're using are made here. Toilet paper, crazy glue, beer, ranch dressing, all made within the Columbus region. So when we think about future opportunities, we need to think differently as we think to meet the demand of those 55% of companies that are involved and interested in manufacturing. Why should we be interested in manufacturing? Why should we really care about that? Well, it's really important to our economy, specifically when we think about the trickle-down effect that it has on indirect jobs, specifically when you compare it against retail and service jobs. And strengthening our regional economy strengthens everything. The jobs that we've traditionally been focused on, like IT, finance, insurance, those main core industries, they've been shrinking due to location decisions, AI impacts, and offshoring. So let's take a deeper dive into manufacturing. When we look at jobs in the manufacturing industry and future jobs, as I indicated, they're very important for our region. And the earnings per job are pretty good. As an example, when we look at this slide that's dedicated to manufacturing, broad stroke of manufacturing, the earnings per job is around $96,000. When we dig and we take an even more granular level look at pharma manufacturing, it's an area where we have seen good growth and we're continuing to see good opportunity for growth. Earnings per job on average in this particular industry, $130,000. Great wages. And when we look at our historical announcements and our pipeline, look at the number of STEM jobs versus non-STEM jobs that we see. We see 58% of our announcements have been in STEM jobs, and they make up a much greater salary percentage than jobs that are non-STEM. Think about announcements that you may be familiar with or have seen recently, like Anduril. who announced earlier this year that they would be creating 4,000 jobs in the defense tech industry, where the average wage is $132,000. Or companies like Amgen, who are in the life sciences industry, which would be very similar to those $130,000 jobs that I detailed earlier on average in pharma. The one thing that I would like to share with you is that there are a number of alternative pathways when it comes to student careers. Not all students need to have a 4-year college education. There are alternative pathways, including workforce development opportunities at our partners at the Career Tech and the community college level, like Columbus State. In-demand jobs like biotech, where an Associate of Science degree at Columbus State, or even doing their biomanufacturing boot camp, can earn a very good wage. Or even as we look at modern manufacturing work-study programs. I'm not trying to convey with you that college isn't important, because it definitely has a place and it is very important. But what I am saying is there are several alternative pathways where students can go, receive training, go to a 2-year institution, and really serve the industries of tomorrow and make a great career of it. So if I can leave you with 3 takeaways: advanced manufacturing career outlook is strong, STEM-related careers pay more, and there are many career pathways and alternatives to 4-year degrees. Thank you for having me this evening.
Okay, thank you so much, Deb, for that really insightful information. So we have heard what is happening at the state level, what's going on at the regional level. So now we're going to talk about what is happening here at Olentangy with all of this information. And I think I just realized I forgot to introduce myself when I came here. So I'm Molly Preston. I'm the Assistant Director of Strategic Partnerships here at the district, and I have the honor of getting to do this work every single day. So what is BridgED? So Olentangy BridgED is our district's initiative designed to bridge the gap between K-12 education and the business community. It addresses the core challenges of aligning companies and school districts to foster meaningful collaboration that supports both student success and workforce development. Our program, the BridgED program, is based on these 3 pillars of access, awareness, and understanding. It is our commitment to preparing students not just for graduation, but for life after graduation. And it's only possible through the kind of collaboration we're celebrating here today between schools, businesses, and our community leaders. We are very fortunate to have a very robust group of business partners. And I always love, anytime we get, build a new partnership or have a new initiative, and I'm so excited in the office, and I tell Mr. Meyer, and we just look at each other and we say, we're just getting started. That's our famous line to each other. So we're so grateful for these partners, their time, their collaboration, their investment in our students. It is not an easy ask to go to businesses to say, hey, we've got these high school students that want to do some internships. Can they come and sit with your IT and your, construction? But they are so supportive and believe in the mission that they do it. Just for example, OSU Wexner Medical Center connected with over 2,300 Olentangy students and staff last year as part of this initiative. So how do we pick these partners, right? So is it Molly's neighbor down the street, or is it somebody that you know? Maybe. But what we do, we take the data just as the Lieutenant Governor presented, just as One Columbus presented. We take that data because it's really important to show students pathways where there's actually going to be jobs available, right? And we also connect with the schools, with the students, their voices, the counselors. What are they actually passionate about? And then what's happening across the nation. So if we can match all of these columns together, that makes a great partner. And then we need to make sure that our partners can support all student pathways. We want to support students that are going direct to work after graduation, that are going to trades, getting certifications, 2-year degrees, 4-year degrees, like Deb had mentioned. The 4-year university is a great choice for many of our students. It's just no longer the only choice. So that's part of the awareness piece that we were talking about, and the Lieutenant Governor, is making sure that students are aware of all of the possibilities and really giving them the support to get to that space. So, with that being said, we would like to thank again Lieutenant Governor Jim Tressel and Deb Scheer for their incredible insights, for helping us think bigger about the future of education and workforce development. A really special thank you to Nicole Crothers and the team here at Olentangy High School to help us get ready and prepare, get all the tables. Now, as we head to the Commons for the Partner Expo, I want to encourage and challenge all of you, students, families, and guests, to be bold and be curious. Not interested in healthcare because you don't want to be a doctor or a nurse? Well, 80% of the jobs in healthcare are not those jobs. If you want to stop by and see an Olentangy alum, Berlin graduate that's now part of the construction team building Dublin Scioto High School, to see why he chose a path in construction, he's here. So I encourage you to stop by the Robertson Construction booth. I could go on, but I feel like music is going to happen like at the Oscars, and I'm going to be booed off stage here. But I really could go on. Every single one of our partners, there's been at least one student that I've noticed, and our goal is not, let's connect with these thousands of students. We in our office get to see this work happening every single day, and I am honored. I can't believe I get to do this every day. It's a true joy getting to do this and meet with the students where they are. So before we go out there, I do want to say, here is a survey for the event. It's going to do a couple things. It's going to help us get feedback. What'd you guys think? Did Molly talk too long? Did she not talk enough? No, don't put those in the comments. So we really want to make this an annual event for the community. We want to, show you what we're doing. We want you to meet the partners. We want you to have these discussions with these industry partners. So this is going to be an annual event, and your feedback really matters. So that's part of it. Also, if you want to connect with any of the business partners directly or want more information, there's a space in the survey to do that. So you don't have to, you can put on the VR headsets out there and have the best time and not worry about contact information. If you just put in the survey that, hey, my name is Jim and I want to talk to Wexner, I will help you. I will take care of that and manage that for you. So twofold on the survey. Please take that on your way out. Thank you again for being part of Bridging the Future. Enjoy the expo, and we'll see you out there in the Commons. Thank you.